Hey everyone, welcome to another hot take. And this one, what else? Democrats, impeachment, politics. It's all the same. I don't know what's worse, is that we get nothing but Trump or nothing but Democrats and impeachment all day long. It's unbelievable. What are you guys doing? Uh, I left the Democratic Party a long time ago, and I've never been so happy not to be a Democrat. Watching them crash and burn is just like, thank God I'm off of that ship. Holy crap. As a libertarian, people, they bash me all the time. Oh, wow, what a wasted vote. A bunch of weirdos in your party. Oh, well, I would rather have that than be the national embarrassment that has become the Democratic Party. I mean, you've got a front runner, Joe Biden. He's arguing with voters. What are you doing? You don't argue with the customer. Your voters are the customer, okay? You're supposed to be at these town halls providing customer service. You're supposed to be telling them everything they want to hear. He can't do it. He's arguing with the guy. Okay, and the guy asked him about Hunter Biden and the whole Ukraine situation. He's not ready for the answer. He's clearly not ready for the answer. How can you not be ready for that question? That is the number one question people are going to ask you. Unless you have an entire room full of shills, you're going to get that question. Okay? You needed a prepared response. And it should have been nice. And it should have been like, Joe Biden, he gets pissed off, turns his back on the guy, mutters, basically calls him names. Not really. It was kind of weird. The whole thing was weird. It's like, he definitely got mad. He should have gotten mad. Call the guy a liar. He definitely called him that. It's like, dude, should have just said, I hear your complaints, sir. This is what a customer service guy would have done. I hear your complaints. I'm going to try to do my best. And I hear what you're saying. I hear you. Like, that's what you said. You at least tell the guy, I hear your complaints. I realize this looks bad. It's very complicated. Hunter's my son, and I have to protect my son. If you are against that, well, I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, put it back on him. But Biden, I think, is incapable of doing that. I think I don't think he wants to run. His whole body language is like, F this bullshit. Like, why am I here? F you. Like, that's his whole body language. Like, how much longer am I doing this? Do you want a guy like that for president? I don't. Like, that to me is a guy who's going to be like, the Russians, let's just push the button. I'm dying anyway. I'm going to be dead in 2 years anyway. What difference does it make? Life sucks. I mean, that's the way he comes off. His whole Happy Joe persona feels very strained at this point. I don't know if the guy's in pain or I think he just doesn't want to do it. I don't know who pushed him into this. I think he totally regrets it. My one theory, and again, this is a long shot theory. I don't think this is realistic in any way, but could it be that the plan is for Joe to run, nominate Hillary Clinton, and then get elected and say, okay, I'm out in 6 months, or nominate Hillary and say, you know what, I'm just going to do a few things and then I'll be out within a year, and I'm just going to let Hillary run. I mean, this way, Hillary doesn't have to debate Trump. But I don't know, Joe debating Trump, I mean, that seems like a disaster waiting to happen. Although, it would be so lopsided towards Trump. Trump might runs the risk of looking too mean and giving it to Joe. I don't know. I mean, certainly Hillary could debate Pence. I mean, Pence and Hillary would be probably the most boring debate in history. Unless Pence suddenly comes out of the gate, maybe inspired by Trump, and says, I better kick up my game here. And then Nancy Pelosi, what is she doing? I mean, I've heard all these pundits talk about what an arrogant, preening, person she is. I had never really seen that live until that press conference where she just loses it. I mean, she just loses it. She's yelling at a reporter. 1 minute she's saying how much she loves America. Next minute she's impeaching the president in the same sentence and asks us to take that seriously. I mean, can you really take it seriously that we love the country? We're impeaching the president. Like, that's not a coherent message. A coherent message is, well, we didn't want to have to do this, but we're going to impeach the president. Like, that's at least coherent. It's not realistic, but it's coherent. But to say, well, we love America, you don't need to tell us you love America, first off. It's just everything that the Democrats have done shows weakness. Everything. The entire impeachment proceedings is weak. If you wanted to, the only saving grace at this point is the only way they can save themselves is with censure. They have to censure and just throw up their hands and say, well, we didn't have enough evidence to impeach, but we will revisit it after the election. Like, you could at least save us all the aggravation of the next, the Christmas season. You're going to impeach during Christmas. No one wants to see that. We're busy. We have things to do. We're getting ready for Christmas. It's the holiday season. People are getting ready for other holidays too. We don't want to see politicians. No one wants to see this. And you expect people to tune in for impeachment? You're exhausting your own base. They're exhausted by this. They're exhausted by loss after loss. And then what they have to do is they have to sit there and do mental gymnastics to justify, no, this will work. This can still work. The impeachment, we'll get the impeachment. Some of the Republicans, that's not going to happen. It's mathematically impossible at this point. The polls point to a 95% support for Trump within the Republican Party. The Republican Party is a lock for Trump. You've lost the moderates with this. You've lost the threat. You've lost people. People are against the impeachment. The majority of the country. If you count people who don't give a crap about what's going on in politics at all, you've got a vast majority. I mean, you've got people now who are working. Hundreds of thousands of people who are working. Who are these people going to vote for? They're going to vote for Trump. They never vote. If they've never voted, if you were struggling to get a job through the Obama years and now you're working and you connect that to Trump, you're voting for Trump. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you say, you know what, I got to get out and vote for this guy. He's amazing. Meanwhile, you got the Democrats who are still refighting 2016. You got Hillary Clinton going on the Howard Stern show, of all places, to talk casually, like a human being, kinda. And it's nuts. It's nuts that this isn't over. Trump won. Just let him do his job. Let him do his job for a few months. I mean, look, he got the economy rolling. I didn't think that part of it was going to work. That was the one part of Trump I thought, oh man, he's just going to spend so much money. It's going to be a recession. He's going to make all these pronouncements. He's not going to be able to pay for anything. So far, the economy is back and booming. Who knew? Now, a lot of the other stuff he's done, I don't agree with. I don't agree with what he's doing with Saudi Arabia and Yemen at all. I think it's bad. I would like him to pull the troops home. Kind of dancing around that issue. There's rumors, troops going in. Will he pull troops out? We don't know. I definitely don't like the Federal Reserve and them doing more quantitative easing or any of that stuff, but you can't deny the economy's good, at least for Americans. So, at least acknowledge that. At least acknowledge that. And say, well, and you acknowledge that he's done some good and you're going to add to that. This constant, no, everything he's done is bad. Everything he's done. That's a lie. I mean, look at CNN's ratings. CNN is done. They're toast. They don't even have 1 million people watching their shows now. There's 350 million people in this country. You can't even get 1 million people? That's less than that's like a 0.03% of the audience. I don't even know of the population. Okay. And then Nancy Pelosi loses her cool, yells at a reporter, she don't test me. What are you, our mother? You're not supposed to say that kind of stuff when you're a politician. You're supposed to give us platitudes. You're supposed to say, well, we're impeaching, we don't want to impeach, but, this is it. This drama of like, well, he's destroying democracy. No, he's not. He's not. No one person is doing that. The entire system, all the corruption is destroying democracy. And when you stack him up against Joe Biden's incredibly corrupt. Nancy Pelosi's incredibly corrupt. When Trump can go on Twitter and say, why don't you go back to your district and do something about all the poop in the streets? Okay? That's a major problem in San Francisco. Nancy Pelosi's district. What is she doing about it? She's passing the buck to her local governments, but, at a federal level, she could do something. She's a Speaker of the House. She has the power to do something, to say something about the problems in her own district. And yet, she's going to turn around and lecture everybody else. That's the hypocrisy. So it'd be different if, someone like AOC did it. At least AOC, as much as I can't stand her, I think she's an idiot, but she doesn't have all this baggage, right? She could say, well, that's not on me, there's poop in the streets. I've only been in office a year. I've tried to do stuff. I drove Amazon out of New York. I did something. There's no denying that she helped do that, right? So, but Nancy, she's got all this baggage to justify, and she doesn't even bother. She's just like hoping nobody remembers or notices. I just told somebody the other day about the poop in the streets in San Francisco. They were like, freaking, what, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, Google it. Google poop in the streets in San Francisco. And to clean up the poop, the problem is there's too many homeless, obviously. So the solution is to attack the homeless problem. San Francisco's solution is to create the poop patrol and spend even more money trying to solve a problem, but not really, just sort of following the homeless people around and, scooping up their poop. So, sorry this got all in about poop, but Nancy Pelosi, you can't talk like you're ensconced in an ivory tower and just totally free of corruption. You are someone who's been in Congress far too long. You should not be talking that way. You should not be talking down to anyone. You should be very humble. And you should say, well, I have my problems too, but, Donald Trump's gone too far. I don't agree with that. I think, compared to other presidents, although Trump has done stuff I don't like and stuff that's probably violated the Constitution, you can't even compare it to a guy like Bush or even Barack Obama, the last two guys. They were constantly doing that stuff, and you guys didn't do crap. All right? During the Bush administration, every Democrat had his tail between his legs, hiding under their desk. Oh, please don't call me unpatriotic because I question the Patriot Act. I better vote for it. That was the Democratic Party the last time we had a Republican in. And then during Barack Obama, oh no, everything's great. Surveillance, go for it. Drone attacks, we're all about it. Suddenly, you just change your tune. I mean, you only have to look at the video from 1998 when they impeached Bill Clinton and all the speeches Nadler gave and Nancy Pelosi and all the other Democrats about how it was so wrong of the Republicans to do it. Hypocrites. The hypocrisy. It's ridiculous. It's time to end it, okay? If you want, look, and if you want to be a hypocrite and keep your job, then cut your losses now. I just can't stand it when people are stupid. The Democratic Party is just being stupid at this point. It infuriates me. Stop being stupid. Just stop. Stop the impeachment thing. Just censor him. Censor the president and call it a day. Say, we don't have enough evidence, but we'll probably impeach him in the next term if he's reelected. And then you can call it a day. You can say, whew, we dodged that bullet. If you call a vote, you might lose. You've already lost at least 2 Democrats. I believe the Democrats hold the House by 20 votes, I want to say. It may be more than that. But if you lose enough Democrats, and you only have to lose half of that. So if you lost 11 Democrats, if you lose, I would say if you lose almost half, you'll probably lose a handful more who will either abstain or they won't even show up. They just won't vote. They'll be too afraid. So you won't have the votes. All the Republicans will vote no. All of them. When you have 95%, that means the other 5% go, I don't agree, but I'm going to vote. They know in advance if these votes are going to work. They do the math. So I think the Democrats will be forced to censure her. She'll do the math and she'll go, damn it, we're going to lose this vote. I think that's why they're trying to rush it. They want to get it before Christmas. I don't know when the break is. But that's another thing, too. These guys are going to go on vacation for I don't know how many weeks. Like government should stop. like, oh, well, we don't have any problems. Everybody's on the holidays. See ya. Got to hit the slopes. Yeah, you guys should be working. You should be working all year long. You should be. I don't care. We're paying you all that money. You guys are getting a lot of money. Let's be honest. Even AOC. AOC's making way more money. Look at how she's dressed. She's dressed to the nines now. She's making good money. Yeah, it's expensive. You got to have 2 residents. I get it. You don't have to have that expensive of a residence in D.C., really. I mean, at this point, I'm sure there's a hotel somewhere that caters to people who come in and out of town because you got to go in and out of town all the time in D.C. I'm sure you could put a cot in your office if you really had to. You really should be back in your district listening to people's problems. Stop being stupid, Democrats. Stop being stupid.